Welcome to the Flashing Badger podcast. My name is Gordon. I'll be your host for today. Joining me are
Wags,
Fitz,
and Mike.
Today we are playing The Call of Cthulhu. We're going to be playing an adventure called The Cracked and Crooked Manse. Join us.
Flashing Badger, Flashing Badger, alright. Flashing Badger.
So we open our scene in 1925, and our three brave players find themselves standing in the long driveway leading up to the Fitzgerald Mansion, the house of ill repute that in the area has known to be cursed. You feel a haunting presence settle over you. And I think Edgar Allan Poe said it best when he said, "I don't know how it was, but with my first sight of the building, a sense of heavy sadness filled my spirit. I looked at the house itself, the ground around it, with a complete sadness of soul. There was no healthy, earthly feeling." Mike?
We should avoid being here if it's that bad.
Just leave.
You've just scared the Beelzebub out of me. I think we might go.
Standing at the end of this driveway, this haunting abode in front of you. Tell me who we're looking at.
You're looking at Jock Tabloid, who's a 20-year-old budding journalist. He wants to work his way into the newspaper game, and he's currently out of town working on horrible little newspaper brochure segmenty types. I'm wearing... What's that hat called? A trilby?
Trilby, sure.
Oh,
and
yes.
it's got a... I don't have a press card, so it's just got a jack of clubs.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Brilliant. And I know you've got two companions with you today.
I do.
Tell me about how you know Fitz's character.
Thaddeus. I know him because he's a horrible street magician and I'm a horrible budding journalist. And so I'm looking to do like nice people pieces for those in the area. And so I write up side columns on them.
Fitz, I think it shows his lack of journalistic integrity.
Yeah,
because
I'm worried
I understand Thaddeus is quite an accomplished magician.
Thaddeus is probably one of the world's most famous stage magicians.
I
Known,
said street magician?
you did. You did.
We've already established that Jock doesn't do research.
Jock, he just saw me walking past and went, "Yep, clocked him. No worries." No, he's Thaddeus Marvell, known to all of you as Marvell the Magnificent. Very, very world famous. Done stage shows, London, Paris, Vienna. Huge reputation. Probably one of the most famous, if not famous, magicians in the world. And then inexplicably, a couple of years ago, dropped off the face of the planet. Just went quiet. Cancelled his shows and went off... what else? No one heard from him for a while, and he's only really just started to come back and doing shows in the last 6 months or so. Which is why I think I'll say that Jock's come into it, because Jock wants to know, where has he been these 18 months before that?
You've been standing in driveways in the middle of nowhere.
And Wags, you seem an unlikely third to this trio.
Roscoe Rollins. Roscoe Rollins, how the hell are ya? Born and raised in the Bronx, swinging fists and taking names. Bit of a rough background. Grew up in a bit of a rough environment, but I've turned my life around. I'm now a professional boxer, but my true passion is sort of mentoring street kids, taking them under my wing and helping them to find a better life.
That could have been swinging fists and making lists.
Oh,
But
swinging
it sounded like lisp.
Oh my
Good or
God,
bad?
you could be like a Tyson-esque sort of...
Oh, we do not need that heat.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
I don't
sorry.
think
No, I think of all the nemesis we could make on this podcast, Mr. Tyson is not one of them.
Mr. Tyson, Fitz does not represent the views of the Flashing Badger podcast.
He's much funnier than us too.
It's
true.
Roscoe is an amazing name for a boxer, though.
Yeah.
We open our scene. It's about February 1925. I say about February because I hadn't invented calendars then.
We've arrived in
You're-
a helicopter.
It's a town, it's about 100 kilometres outside of Boston. You're on the outskirts of Gamwell town. But we're going to flash back to that. We're going to flash back to when one of you received this letter. I think, Jock, you got a letter in in the mail about an interesting story potentially brewing in the small town of Gamwell. And it was from Dodge Brothers Attorneys. And it said, "Dear Mr. Tabloid, we've been referred to you by a mutual friend. I understand you are gifted in investigations in relation to locating persons? Because obviously you've been sowing some seeds about your journalistic abilities that haven't quite come to fruition yet.
They've fallen for it. A law firm.
And so you get this letter that says, we're interested in locating the missing Mr. Arthur Cornthwaite. Our associate mentioned your name as being one skilled in locating missing persons. I'm the partner of an established law firm in Gamwell, and he's disappeared holding certain documents in trust at our firm. This leaves us in a quandary as how to manage his estate in your absence without his authority on such matter. So we'd like you to locate Mr. Cornthwaite and obtain his wishes in respect to the matter. Essentially, they want you to go there and locate him or discover his whereabouts. They've invited you to attend the offices of their law firm in Gamwell. And as our story opens, you're not quite at the mansion yet. You're in Gamwell Main Street. And Main Street's putting it pretty strongly. Like, this is a handful of shops up and down either side. There's, a few motor cars buzzing around, but it's certainly not a big metropolis. This town is out of the way. There's it's not on the big route to anywhere. It's large properties that cover big estates still take up the place here. This hasn't become suburban sprawl of Boston. It's too far out. And your main street there has a tidy little boarding house on one side and the town hall and police station. It's all pretty quaint. And you guys having come from, well, Wegs, I know you're from
Roscoe, Bronx.
Yeah.
Born and raised.
Obviously, Thaddeus, you've been to the big metropolises of the world.
I have. I've been to them all. Paris, Vienna, London, Canberra. I've traveled the world wide, seen places dark and far.
And what encouraged you, Thaddeus, to tag along with Jock on this? You've been a subject of his story, but how did this come about that you end up here with him?
Well, funnily enough, I was present. We were just finishing up an interview where Jock absent-mindedly opened this letter in front of him. And something as he read the letter out loud, because Jock's one of those guys that has to say the words out loud. I can't read in his head. Something compelled me to perhaps follow him along to Gamwell. Something was drawing me to
Can I
go
ask
with
a
him.
couple of questions about the letter?
Sure can.
Did it have a fancy wax seal from the law firm? I like wax seals.
It did not.
Ah, shame. And secondly, is it that the letter almost looks like it's 95% made and sent out to a whole bunch of different people, but there's the lines where they've written, "We're so excited to contact you," and then handwritten my name?
Yep, it's like a pro forma.
And it's not even Jock, it's Jack.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely it is. But still, obviously it awoke something in you because you've turned up here.
I'm excited.
So you're standing on the edge of town. How did you get here?
I took my workplace's motor car. They have one in the pool.
The jalopy.
And the keys hang on the board inside. And everyone else was out to a lunch to celebrate something for our local paper.
And they left you behind?
Yeah, because I was left behind to do more paperwork and some more copy. And I went, nope, and I've grabbed the keys. And I've convinced myself that it's important that I do this. They would have wanted me to follow this, and they'll be so proud of me when they see that I can go out, because I'm not allowed out.
No, unsupervised. God,
The
no.
jobs come in of a Monday morning of all the different things they want to follow up, and they assign it to the different journalists, and it gets to the end, and there's nothing for me. But this time, I've shown that I can generate my own, because word is out of how fantastic I am as a journalist.
Clearly.
And my workplace just needs to see that, and they're going to see that today.
Your reporter's instinct has said that there's some type of story in this one.
And I'll wrap this up in the next hour or two before they even get back.
Yeah, that's right.
And so when they come back in from lunch, they're going to see the amazing job that I've done.
Why would you need to write your details up on the board and sign out the car properly? You've just taken the keys.
And because I was finishing the interview with you, you're watching me grab the keys and stuff, and you're like, "You're fine to take that motor car?" I'm like, "Of course, hop in."
You're old enough to drive, aren't you, young man?
So before you left town, did you do some research into Arthur Cornthwaite? Did you look into his background?
We have a big Filodex style cabinet.
The archives of all the old
Yes.
newspaper? Great. Give me a library use roll.
That's a hard success with an 11.
Wonderful. So in your research, you discover a newspaper article from none other than one of your sister papers there, the Gamwell Gazette.
That's amazing. I was just spitballing about different ways that I might actually get information in the 1920s. Okay, so it says Gamwell millionaire absent, and it's dated January 17th, so about a month prior. Gamwell's most prosperous son, Arthur Cornthwaite, will not be seen at church over the next few weeks. Mr. Cornthwaite was he's left the area for a time, possibly for a vacation or in relation to his studies. Some mystery surrounds Mr. Cornthwaite's departure as it came without notice. However, an inspection of his mansion and grounds by Sheriff Whitford has revealed no cause for alarm. The last person to speak to Mr. Cornthwaite was his attorney, Mr. Walter Dodge, on the 7th of this month, being January. At the time, he gave no indication of his imminent departure, but according to Mr. Dodge, he did seem quite preoccupied, no doubt with his travel plans. We all know well that besides being a Gamwell landowner, Mr. Cornthwaite is a millionaire, a scholar, a philanthropist, and an explorer. He may well be off laying the groundwork for some future exciting expedition, or perhaps just relaxing for a time in New York. Gamwell citizens will no doubt remember fondly Mr. Cornthwaite's numerous generous donations to local charities and to the town library, and join with us in wishing him a safe and happy return. So a few things jump out from there is that obviously he explores and he gets around a lot, and so people are saying no cause for alarm. But it also tells me the last person he spoke with being his attorney, and that a sheriff who's named here has already gone and searched the property. There's a couple of things in there for us.
Yeah, and because you've had a hard success as well, there's a few other things you come across in your archives. The gist of them is that he's an archaeologist, that he's independently wealthy, that he inherited his money from his parents, and that in 1923, so 2 years ago now, he led a major expedition to South America, which suffered a tragic loss of life, and he was the only survivor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I feel that this is where Marvell comes into it too. He recognises the name Gamwell in the circles he spins in as well, being, stage shows and philanthropy and stuff like that. He recognises the name, and this intrigues him a little as well, and he decides that he'll tag along with young Jock to see where this leads. There's a pull to come along with it.
I love that you're like, a disappearing act. I wonder how he does his.
He's booked a flight.
He'd use strings for sure.
And Roscoe, I know you're not a man of letters as such, although you've made yourself one.
No, I'm trying. I figured out, there's 26 of them?
Amazing.
I learned that by reading.
I was like, what are you doing? You're a boxer. Okay.
And one of the things funny about Roscoe is he's actually got not a bad library use skill, so it really shows that
that's amazing.
He's committed to this sort of personal development.
Trying to rise above my difficult start. I've also got, as part of mucking around in the library, picking up books, trying to teach myself, I've been sort of drawn to the archaeology section about the it's just interesting. Do you know there were like civilizations before 1776? Are you guys aware of that? I should probably put on my Boston or my Bronx accent before I.
And you'd have a fascination with their trials of combat as well.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah. See, I think a good idea might be that Cornthwaite, with his philanthropy and donations, maybe sponsored your gym for wayward youth.
He did. That's right. That's where I've heard the name before. He gave me a check for $23.
Whoa!
Wow.
Whoa!
We're talking crazy money here.
And he included a letter that said this is purely for tax write-off purposes. So, hey, listen, $23 is $23.
His name's too long, though, to put all over the gym. Like, you can't get it around the punching bag.
Arthur Cornthwaite.
So he started just calling it Cornies.
Cornies.
This letter has drawn you to the town of Gamwell. As I said to you before, it's this tiny little place. It's the kind of place you stop and buy an ice cream or a soda as you're going on to somewhere else, but it's not a place that people stop. All these properties are quite large. It's this lovely rustic vista. It sits in this valley, this tree line, there's beautiful rolling green hills around. It's such a small town. It's a dot on any map. There's no reason for people to make this their destination.
I foolishly brought a map that it is just a dot. I didn't bring a more zoomed in scale, unfortunately. But we do have a couple of cool starting points, even in this town. We know that the sheriff's name is Sheriff Whitford, so the police station might be a starting point. We know that the attorney is Walter Dodge, who was the last person to speak with him. And from our little intro as well, we were told there's the town hall and the boarding house. So
that letter that you got, that was from Dodge?
Yes, that was from the Dodge brothers, yep.
Dodge Brothers is cool. Can I change my character name? To the Dodge Brothers. And I will play two characters.
And I like that you'll be like the fourth brother as well, so they'll just adding on. These poor NPCs suddenly wondering why they've got an extra brother.
Every time you kill me off, there's another brother.
All of a sudden you dodge.
And Dodge.
and dodge. And duck.
Sound like some good starting points.
Our car rolls into town across the gravel, and it's also breaking down a little.
Bang, bang.
And I'm like, we'll stop here.
This seems like a good spot. Don't stop on a hill. We'll never start again. Maybe the lawyer's office. What do you think?
Sounds amazing. I pretend I'm like this great journalist and I'm full of ideas, but I'm actually panicking, which is why I've brought you both along as well.
Yeah. I was thinking you've like the second that something like out of the ordinary's come up, you just called me straight up and gone, hey, Roscoe, I got this lead. And I'm like, on my way, boy. I'm on my way.
And I know we're going to small town America, so I've worn my least conspicuous top hat and cape. Something to blend
And sparkly
in.
bow
with the
tie.
Yeah.
Is it hot here? How is it for the rabbit in your hat?
It's February in Boston. It's like minimum 1, maximum 10, 11 degrees centigrade.
Okay, so the rabbit needs you for warmth.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
hat.
Saying, I knew you were going to ask that, so I researched it. See, you can't catch me out, boy.
We hop out, I've parked in the gutter, and I'm looking around. Well, how about we go speak to the police? I mean, I'm not going to. They're too intimidating, but one of you totally should. Maybe not you, Roscoe. They might recognize you.
Nah, different jurisdiction. I'm fine. They got no power. Johnny Law got no power over me
looking
here.
at you and looking at the poster on the wall. Looking at you, poster on the wall.
Different
Wanted.
Roscoe. Different Roscoe.
I got no warrants. My name's Bosco.
I walk over to the police station. Is the door unlocked?
The sheriff's office has those, like, it's like the Wild West kind of with a big glass window and a door in there. And you can see as you open the door inside, there's the front counter with a swinging little gate going through to the back section. And sat at a sort of sideways facing desk is just one sheriff. And he's got the hat on the desk next to him. It's like a roll top desk.
He saw me coming through the window and he's slouched in his chair a little to be like, I'm not here.
You go inside, it's just him, apart from there's a lady on a typewriter nearby and she's got a telephone on her desk, classic old 1920s telephone. And he turns and looks at you and you see he's this sort of grey-haired, quite a handsome guy, solidly built. He's got his collar and tie done all the way up and he's got the dark jacket over the top, like a state patrol jacket with a badge on the lapel. He's got this dark salt and pepper hair. It's cut short. He's very regimented, like he's laid down and squared away, clean shaven.
I'm going to have fun with this guy.
He's got this sort of like fairly grumpy look fixed on his face, and you can see these sort of piercing, sharply observant eyes as soon as you walk in, just sizing the three of you up. And they kind of sweep over Jock and they hover for a second on Thadeus, and you see him go up and down his outfit a few times, and then they lock on Roscoe, and you can see them sort of calculating. It's clear he's sort of done a bit of a threat assessment here. And
We should have left Roscoe outside.
So he stands up, he's like, can I help you folks?
And the phone rings and she answers and she's like, no, the sheriff's not in.
Oh, hey, Marjorie. No.
Do you see those three strangers that just came in? I did. Where did you think they were from?
Hey, Marjorie. No, they just walked in. Yeah.
I think it's a cape.
Cape. Yeah, the other one. Yeah, face like a smashed crab. Yeah.
Sheriff Whitford, is it?
That's right. Who might you be?
Oh, no, I didn't plan for the second part. I'm so excited to talk to you. My name is Jock, and I believe that you and I are working on the same case.
Well,
We're both investigators.
Well, son, I think you probably owe me a little bit of detail, exactly what you're referring to.
And I present the newspaper clipping to him. And I'm like, I'm aware that you are looking for Mr. Arthur Cornthwaite, and we may be able to help you with that, with some information.
Listen, boy, it's not the kind of area you want to go digging around in. That place is no good. I think that fella's no good, and I think it's best you let sleeping dogs lie.
Hey, Johnny Law, say we were to keep investigating. Get on our side, will ya?
I think if you want to try and talk him around, I think one you should give me some kind of persuade roll or a fast talk roll or even an intimidate roll if you think that's likely to work.
I'm feeling lucky. How about an intimidate?
I was going to go, I might do the old bit of the fast talk, bit of the charm.
Oh.
And I walk up to him and do the big over-the-top cape sweep out as I stick my hand out and go, Sheriff Thadeus Marvell, pleased to meet you. I believe this is yours. And I pull out his badge which I've managed to sleight of hand from his vest
Handcuffs you.
All right. Roll
That's
me.
amazing.
to go. I believe this is yours. In the attempts to try and charm and woo him with my.
So I want you to roll me a sleight of hand fast talk roll. So they're combined rolls. So whichever one is like the worst, just take that.
He's going to be so mad because glitter has gone everywhere as well.
I rolled an 11, which is a hard success.
Against all odds, the sheriff immediately bursts with laughter when you hand over his badge, and his face transforms. This sort of crack weathered thing. He laughs and he says, "Listen, well, Mr.
Marvell.
Well, you put on quite a show. That's more than I'm used to in this small town. How can I be of service to you? This is quite a treat."
He was a fan of magic.
Who's not a fan of some close-up magic? He goes, Sheriff, as my little colleague here has said, we're here looking into our old friend Arthur Cornthwaite's possible disappearance. You've been mentioned highly in the articles that have been posted in the Tribune or the Gazette. We were hoping perhaps you could give us a bit more information about old Arthur's location or disappearance.
I have to be honest with you, Mr. Marvell. I've never been a big fan of that place. That house has a dark and storied history. It's not the kind of place I like to spend much time, if you take my meaning. But I've been down there. I've done a thorough investigation. There was no sign of foul play. It's slightly unusual in that the man has fired his servants off one by one in the weeks preceding his disappearance. They've all disappeared, but they were all out-of-towners, and I couldn't reach any of them for a comment. But that house is... You forgive me for saying this, but you're a man in the magical arts.
Indeed I am. And do the little finger wave over the eyes.
You're becoming less charming, Mr. Marvell.
Pull back a bit.
It's just that house has a curse to it. There's been some horrible events there, and this was just the next in the long chain. Every 30 years or so, it seems that house becomes a problem around these parts, and be glad if the worst that's happened is that Mr. Cornthwaite has departed us, and to my eye, the best thing that could happen would be if that place burned to the ground tomorrow.
While you're having the conversation with him and he's looking very serious, I snap a photograph with my camera because this is like early Netflix documentary times, and I'm going to capture our investigation as it goes. So he's like mid-sentence and it just the big...
the light bulb goes up.
Yep.
Everyone's blinded for a brief moment. Like, you turn around and poor Maisie, who's on the phones, has got powder burns from the globe or something.
And then I have my notepad and pen out and I interrupt. Sheriff, you said that the servants were fired one by one, but you mentioned they were from out of town and you hadn't got to see or speak to anyone. Is it the case that maybe they haven't been fired, but they've disappeared one by one, just like Mr. Cornthwaite?
Well, Mr. Marvell, I'd advise your friend here to perhaps keep from speculating about crime in a town such as this. There's things that do come and go from the area, and we don't keep track on all the out-of-towners and foreigners who pass through. And those people who work there didn't stay that long. I know Mr. Cornthwaite kept to himself, but we used to see his people come into town now and then, and we don't see them anymore. I wouldn't advise your rampant speculation on what may have happened to him.
The sheriff is keeping a lid on it because he doesn't want 10 cases on his plate. He
The
just
crime
wants
stats will go.
Yeah. He just is like, well, there's one I can't avoid. I'll take that on.
Well, but while you bring it up, young man, I suppose I should ask you your whereabouts last night. There's been some events in town that could do with some explanation.
I've been stuck working in my local newspaper out of town. Overnight, I do all the copy, but they leave me on my own.
Very convenient that you were out of town. Where are you working, son?
Hillvale, which is X amount of distance away from Gamwell.
I know it. That's
I'm writing it down in case you ask me it again and my story doesn't add up.
sounds like a good move. Well, the reason I ask is Seb Watkins lives near the outskirts of town. Farmer there, he lost his prize horse, valuable animal. It's gone sometime in the night, but We only know that because there was a particularly heavy dew on the ground this morning that looks undisturbed. Lasted well past midday, but we would have seen the tracks. But I want to make sure that you fellas aren't involved in this business. It's going to cause some sort of ruckus here in town.
Hey, easy, Johnny Law. We ain't looking for trouble. We're trying to help.
We'd be foolish to bring ourselves into the sheriff's office if we had something to do with it.
Well, you make a fair point, but we only catch the dumb ones.
Also bold of you to bring up a horse on the podcast.
Oh, don't.
No, they say that.
Okay, so we also have said Watkins out at his farm.
And his missing horse.
Well, we don't have the missing horse.
By definition.
One more thing, Sheriff, before we depart this house of law.
And again, as you wave your cloak around, he sort of does like a little childish smile. He's like, this is the big time has really come to him. He's really enjoying this.
Put on a stage show here.
It's like a movie stars come to town.
I know you said Mr. Cornthwaite became more reserved and withdrawn. Does he have any friends or perhaps lady friends that might be able to help us with our inquiries into his locale?
Well, Mr. May I call you the Magnificent Marvell?
Just call me Magnificent.
Well, Mr. Magnificent, I don't get much into town gossip as far as it goes, but I know he was well liked around here, and to be honest with you, the few times I met him, he seemed like a decent fella in an indecent place. The people who know him all around town, people who know him, people have dealt with him. He would come into town quite regular, although that dropped off recently. Might be worth asking around and see if you can shake anything up, but I don't want you to get people riled up here. Please play it gentle. These people we're a good town, we're a quiet town, and I got to go looking for Mr. Watkins' horse. If you find yourself out at the Fitzgerald house, I'd advise you to be cautious, and Mr. Watkins lives just nearby, so make sure you don't stir him up. He's lost enough today.
Is there anything you can give us to help us with our journey? Like a snub-nosed 38?
I could try and lift it from him.
I want you to solve one of his cases before you leave.
Yes.
Your diamond burglary from last Tuesday. Perhaps reopen that file.
The one that's just sitting on the desk.
Yeah.
I happened to notice in that file in that corner
And then
there.
there's a fingerprint in there that's like, he's like, that wasn't there before. You're like, you're welcome.
It's like a Gene Parmesan thing for Arrested Development. It's like, perhaps this? Oh, Gene, he's the best. He looks, as you say this, about asking for some assistance. He sort of glances up at the shotgun on the wall above his desk, and he's got the 38 holstered on his hip there. He says, well, son, there's one thing in this town, and that's the law is the law, and I don't encourage people to take it into their hands. Mr. Marvell, if you need me, you know where to call me.
Indeed I do, Sheriff. Indeed I do.
And I didn't catch your name, sir.
You sure didn't. See ya.
I advise you to keep your manners in check, and we'll have no problem here.
Noted.
And boy, stay out of the street, okay? One of these motor cars will run you down.
As I go to walk out, I'm then hesitant to actually go out on the street. I look back at you and you're like, no, you can go out on the street. Just get out of here. Just be careful.
Welcome all to the Flashing Badger podcast. Just four charming, witty, handsome gentlemen having fun playing RPGs.
Hail Flash Badgeroth.
We're not a front for anything. We dive into different game systems and settings, some more structured and rule-based, some really just a chance to muck around and have a laugh.
Our great dark god, Flash Badgeroth, seeks entertainment.
Nothing else really sinister going on, just four normal human blokes playing some great games, exploring new creative worlds. Nothing weird or freaky or anything that will get us into trouble with old Johnny Law.
The law is an abomination in the sight of Flash Badgeroth, our one true darkness set against the light.
There'll be no weird unintended consequences for listening. You'll just stay exactly as you are. You won't experience any side effects or notice any changes to your thought patterns or desires, or be unable to differentiate between your nightmares and your waking hours.
Flash Badgeroth will consume all in his ravenous, unholy hunger.
The Flashing Badger podcast. Normal humans doing normal human things. All welcome.
Flashing Badger.
So let's open some doors for you, I think. There's
I
some
think
questions
so.
to be asked.
There's too many things to do. It's like an RPG when they give you everything at once. And they're like, but you may also want to speak to Billy. And I'm like, stop.
And all of a sudden, all these
I've got
spots
terrible
just,
news for you. This is an RPG.
Oh, no. Like, give
all
me
these
one
spots
thing.
just appearing on our map. Like, now we've got
Yeah.
Sir Watkins' house.
Quest markers popping up.
I just do whatever's closest. Okay, we have the farm. I've got my little notepad out. My little journalist peel over notepad. I'm like, we have Sir Watkins in the farm and his lost horse. We have attorney Walter Dodge. What else do we have? We have the house,
We've got the house itself.
but that's haunted, and he said not to go there. So
did.
I'm happy not to go there.
And we've even just got general about town, the advice of asking around. Stuff
Town
like that.
hall, boarding
Town
house.
hall, boarding house, saloon. I'm sure this town has one.
And there's a whole bunch of people missing. So hopefully we can tick off, and maybe there's been some sightings, and there's not as many people missing as.
I think if we went to old Seb's place on the way to the mansion, he mentioned that it was right next door. But that sort of seems a bit out there as a connection. He just said, he just had his horse stolen.
Lining the sides of the main street, you can see up the street a little bit, there's the offices of the Gamwell Gazette newspaper. You can see a small church up towards the end of town with a graveyard attached to it.
Oh.
The boarding house sort of falls in the middle of the street, and it's got this lovely, light pink wash, and there's rose bushes up and down either side and a small white picket fence. And from where you are, you can actually see there's a figure in the front yard of that house.
A boarding house would be good because there's a lot of people coming and going. They keep talking of out-of-towners, assisting with him. Surely they'd stay at the boarding house.
And then right in the middle of the main street, almost opposite where you are at the sheriff's office, is the town hall, which is grandiose by the town standards, but not that impressive to you. It's got the pillars out the front and things, but it's still only a two-story building. And directly next to that, like a little annex, almost a lean-to on the side of that, you can see a sign that says Town Library.
I thought you were going to say, there in the middle of the street is Arthur Cornthwaite. You have solved the mystery.
On a horse.
I get my little panic with my notebook, and you can see that I've got decision paralysis.
Yeah. So
Roscoe,
I put my arm around you. Go, easy, champ. Come on, one thing at a time. Boarding house. That was your first instinct. You'll make a fine reporter. Let's go. Boarding house. Off we go.
I like that you've maybe given him like a mantra. Like the mantra we practiced when you used to pee your pants at 19 years old.
used to.
So you make your way up the main street to the boarding house there, and as you approach this white picket fence, you can see there's a guy working in the front yard, and he's got sort of thinning brown hair, and he's quite weathered skin, but pale skinned, and he's mostly grey now, and he's working on rose bushes, and he's carefully pruning away, and these nice sort of topiaried almost rose bushes leading up the main path. And he looks around, and he's got a shirt on, he's got like an apron on over that, but no tie, and he's wearing slacks. You know, everyone's wearing these like woolen suit pants, and because it's the 1920s, that's the only clothes I know. And he looks up as you get closer, and he says, "Hello." And again, eyes go up and down Thaddeus and a thing, and looks at Roscoe, who's quite a hulking figure, and then at the last bit it spots Jock just as you're approaching this gate, the white fence there.
I struggle like 4 times with the gate latch, and I don't know how to lift the one bit to push the next.
It's a lift. Lift that.
turn.
and
I'm
put-
now jiggling the
stop.
whole fence until someone
Just
unlocks
put
it.
one leg over.
And as I put one leg over, one of you opens the gate latch,
you
and
just
so I sort of swing with it. Hi. My name's Jock Tabloid. Jock Tabloid's my full name, but you can call me Jock.
He reaches out and says, "Well, hello," and he's sort of laughing as he does this. "Well, hello, Jock." It's
I do a
quite,
really weak handshake.
quite an entrance to you, mate. And he's got
Wet.
these
It's limp.
he's got these they're quite well kept hands. He's not like a real tradesman, but clearly weathered. He's clearly a man of the world. And as he shakes your hand, he leans back and says, "Edith, looks like we got 3 for a lemonade this morning." And out onto the porch comes this lady she's got like a nice sensible blouse on with a high collar, and her hair's done up in a bob, and she's got glasses on, and she looks a good few years younger than her husband. She's got this like brown hair, but she's got a warm smile as soon as she comes outside, and
Has she got lemonade?
she's got a tray of lemonade.
Oh.
It's homemade.
Nice.
Top of the morning to you, man. We'll take our lemonades to go.
And we walk off. And now we go to the town hall.
When we finish,
Gordon's like, okay, you're at the town hall with your lemonade.
as you cross the street, you finish your drink and just smash the glass on the ground.
I drink mine, but you go, nope, and you write in your inventory, one by lemonade.
one by glass.
You just pull out a pocket and pour it in and hand the glass back. She says, come up, come sit here. She says, Hank, you take a break from doing the garden there, and how can we help you? You looking for a room?
Hank and Edith, we must protect them at all costs. They sound lovely.
We probably do need a room, to be fair. How long have we been
yeah.
here?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I
we're
thought
gonna
this would
stay
take me an
until-
hour.
You
Who's
did.
paying for the room?
I've got some money.
They'll have something they need fixed.
Don't tell me Hank says, don't tell me you're the boys the Dodge brothers sent up.
What do you, Dodge Brothers?
Indeed we are, madame.
Because it's already been paid for. Then we are the Dodge Brothers.
Well, excellent. They have prepaid your rooms. I wasn't sure when you'd be arriving, but here's a key for each of you. You'll find your rooms upstairs. Or
We each got a room, right?
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Do you have any bags?
I'll leave them in my motor vehicular transport.
Whoa!
I do, but they have their own rooms.
Oh, we got a room. This is so exciting.
Ooh, and it's prepaid by the Dodgy brothers. I wouldn't cash that check till after we leave.
So Edith sort of takes a seat and motions you at the nearby chairs on that nice wrought iron table that she's got at the front. What kind of thing brings you boys to town? I understand it's to do with that lovely Mr. Cornthwaite.
That's right, Hank and Edith. We're a team of investigators. We're working on a big story, and it's going to be the talk of the towns. And it's so exciting that you get to be a part of it. Would you like to answer some questions and help us?
They sort of glanced at each other briefly, and Hank says, well, I'm sure Sheriff Whitford really loved new investigators coming in. Good luck to you if you haven't met him. And Edith says, "Oh, you hush now, Hank. Now, of course, I could help you, boys. What do you need to know?"
They have to be hesitant to answer, but then Roscoe's in the background doing the fist into the other palm.
Just slowly
And
pounding
I'll-
your fist into your
And then
hand.
they're like happy to answer, and I'm always like, "Wow, people are so keen to talk to me." I don't
Yeah, I'm just like
realise.
slightly tilting my head and flexing my fists. Like, people seem so compliant around here.
Thanks, Edith. We're looking for Mr. Arthur Cornthwaite, as I'm sure many people are, but it
Oh,
seems
he's such a kind man. He's so thoughtful and so generous. But he's been a little ill recently. We haven't seen him for a while. I think he contracted something in South America and can't seem to shake it.
Do you remember when you last saw him?
It's been a little while since he came into town. He's been sending his people in most recently. He hasn't been.
Edith. I just snapped as a journalist.
Look, we don't. One day's much the same as another for us, but it's been some weeks since we've seen him around.
And people normally come into town for him?
Well, people, he had some staff coming and going, but I think Hank knows. Hank says, well, yes, his people seem to come in sometimes. There was to the store, and every now and then they'd come in, bring his motor car in and get it worked on. Old Davy is pretty good with the motor cars. It's been some time, and I don't think we've seen any of those boys or girls for some weeks.
And what made you think that he had an illness?
He wasn't quite himself when he last came into town. He's usually such a nice, friendly, kind man, but this time he seemed a bit distracted, and he looked ill. I don't like to speak. Look, we don't like to speak too much of gossip. Obviously, we're not gossips. Running a local boarding house is a position of privilege, and
If you were a gossip, I've moved from the Bronx to the South, apparently.
give me some sort of social skill roll, a charm or a fast talk or a persuade or an intimidate. Someone try and
Intimidate.
I'll give you a fast talk.
great.
19, which gives me a hard pass.
Brilliant. So tell me how that goes. How do you talk these people around?
By acquiescing, by agreeing with them, bit of charm, especially with Edith, a bit of, I understand, of course, a position of privilege. You must be the center of town. Why all these folks coming through here? Your boarding house is well known outside of Gamwell, Edith. By the way, are these yours? And I whip out a pair of bunch of flowers from my from my sleeve.
You've ripped out of the garden.
bushes, and there's a bunch of roses missing.
Yeah, it's 100%.
She has to replant them.
Yeah. But she's like, yeah, and then Hank looks around. He's like, those are my roses. I just planted them.
And your hand's bleeding from all the thorns, but you've quickly ripped it
And it's
out.
just a bunch of glitter where his plant once was.
But she smiles at you and she
I
takes
give her
the
a single
flowers. And
rose, and I put a bit of.
she sort of puts her hand on your arm and does, "No, I know you." And Hank sort of smiles and they look at each other together. And Hank says, "Well, I think Edith did some work in the local historical society. I think she could tell you a bit about that house, about the place." She said, "Oh, such a terrible business down there. Do you know that house was built back in 1805? It's one of the first big noble houses in the area. It's amazing. But there was such a nasty business there in 1865 when the whole Fitzgerald family, old John Fitzgerald, came back from the Civil War, and, well, they say he just lost his mind up there, killed the whole lot, and himself." She sort of dabs like a tear, and Hank puts his hand on it. "Oh, it's okay, dear. It's many years ago." Says, "Well, and then must have been 1866 that the Ainsfields came in. They stayed until, well, the mid-90s, and then they had to leave. And 1894 that Mr. Kerwin, Arthur Kerwin, came in. He moved in with his family, and he was apparently going to bring up his children here in the beauty outside of town. But, curse, 1895, killed his whole family. Disappeared. Never seen again, never arrested. We don't know where he was. And that house sat vacant there, just stewing in its evil for 3 years, building and building its darkness. Till in 1898, the Franklins bought the house, and they were an old couple, and they died off. We already had the boarding house when they died. Martha died in, what was it? Hank says, I think it was 1911, just before that nasty business over in Europe. And says, "Oh, that's right." And then Harry died, I think, 1918. So he didn't get to see the end of the war. And 1919, it must have been that Mr. Cornthwaite bought the house. He's such a nice man, and he was always coming and going and on his big long trips, but he would always come into town. Do you know sometimes he did talks at the town hall about the savages that he'd met overseas and the ancient civilizations. Do you know they have civilizations overseas?
Edith, do you know I'm trying to write all this down? So many times I can write murder-suicide. Now I'm just drawing sketches of a man with a knife murdering his little stick figure family.
1865 and 1895, and I suppose we should have warned Mr. Cornthwaite it's 1925.
Listen, Hank, Edith, let me ask you, this house, 4 or 5 families, all gone over 40, 50 years. Has anyone gone into the house that you know of? Any records, any documents?
Oh, well, all the documents, and the town hall would have all the documents, and the town hall would have plenty of records. And young Miss Arwell, she's such a lovely, pretty thing. She'd have stuff in the library there, but they don't have that many books. But she does her best.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
No, you're quite welcome. You're very polite boys. Thank you for coming.
I do have some good news for you.
Oh yes.
Based on patterns, you got 30 years before this happens again. So don't
I
dwell on it too much.
I wasn't paying too much attention to the dates, which I probably should have. I was writing down families, but they are perfectly spaced apart. Yeah.
When the sheriff said, every 30 years or so, I quickly wrote that down.
The funny thing is, I'm supposed to be some sort of mentalist which remembers everything. And I'm like going, you keep telling me dates, probably should remember those.
You say, "Well, Agnes, Edith, quite, yes."
I want you to go to the library and research a bunch of people that live in the town and like who their family members are and that. And then when we meet them, you're like, "Oh, Edith, I'm getting the letter A. Getting the letter A. Do you have a son, Aaron? Arnold. Okay, Arnold wants you to know
that he's fine.
that our room is free."
From the great beyond. He goes, he's not dead. He lives down the street. He was over this morning for breakfast. What are you telling me?
Yeah, so far away it can be at the end of the street. Amazing.
I think
we're
you should
getting
take
steered towards the library.
I think so. I think you should take a photo of
So let's rest for the night.
Edith and
Oh, yes.
Hank together.
But because I forgot, I now ask Edith to pretend she's mid-conversation again, but also not to talk too much because that'll mess with the lens and the shutter frame.
So she ends up doing the thing where she's sat there as if she's talking to Marvell, but she's got her eyes just completely, she's full spiking the lens. She's not used to having her photograph taken.
And Roscoe's just in every photo you take from now on, accidentally photobombing at the back with his fist in his eye.
And Hank's photographed in front of the vacant gap in his garden where the roses used to be, just looking despondent.
There's 4 rose bushes down one side and 3.5 down the other side.
Good evening, sports fans. I'm Randy Carter, bringing you the Baseball Bulletin. This week sponsored by Yog-Sothoth Yogurt for that deep down yummy. We're talking the New England Night League, the night league where the bats are swinging, the gloves are steady, and the shadows, well, the shadows move of their own accord. So let's take a look at the standings. Atop the ladder are the Arkham City Elders, led by their new coach, Willie Watley, who knows what magic spells he's cast to change those Elders' fortunes. But hot on their heels, though, are the Innismouth Deep Ones, led by their star pitcher, Danny Dagan. Further down the ladder, and not to be underestimated, are the Kingsport Dreamers, followed closely by the Dunwich Sentinels. And the Essex County Shoggoths, they round out the final 5. But of course, the big game is this Saturday when the ghouls from Miskatonic University take on the Alta City Cats. So keep your wireless tuned, your scorecards marked in red ink. This is going to be a doozy of a match. And if you head into the game, children are half price, and of course, the nightmares are free of charge. Back to you, Stan.
Flashing Badger.
Is it the library, did you say?
Well, the town hall were where the records were for the house, but we could go to the library and...
Oh, we're going to get so many newspaper clippings.
Oh, yes.
And you love libraries.
I do love libraries.
We're going to lose him in the archaeology
You haven't
section.
been to speak to your employers yet. I will point that out as well.
Oh, but they
Oh, the
want
Dodge
us
brothers.
to turn up with some info. Because they might be like, you got here and you done nothing.
What?
Or is that
I
the
do want to bring my,
DM pushing us in a direction?
my bags out of the car. And my bag is just one of them giant magic chests. You know, like that's quite heavy.
And you tap the corner and it folds flat.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
all the sides collapse and there's nothing in it.
But we can hear the pigeons still.
It goes flattening.
Well, do we want to go see our employer or do we want to go to the library?
I think we should see our employer. You really get an idea of what we're actually specifically.
I fix my hat and
Well,
my
your
hair
employer.
in the mirror, the side mirror of my motor vehicle before I go see my employer. And I'm like, you two behave. Stop dropping glitter.
So you walk up to the front door of the Dodge Brothers office, which is, like I say, it's not a long street. It's only a few doors away. And you turn up there and it's one of those frosted, solid brick building, one of those frosted windows on the front that says Dodge Brothers Incorporated 1912. You open the front door and a bell rings as you do. And inside it's this quite dimly lit. There's a few lanterns on the wall and the electric lighting there is very poor. And there's 3 smaller rooms down one side and the whole rest of the office is filled with filing cabinets and there's those things on the law degrees on the wall and there's certificates and there's a big town map there as well with all plots and things marked out. It's a bit musty in there, but it's quite tidy. Like it's not just paper everywhere, but there's all those green table lamps you see in the old movies on each table all lit on. And as you open the door, sort of quite a weaselly man comes forward and he's like, yes, hello, can I help you?
And out of habit from when I walk into lawyers' offices in the past, I just straight away, I'm like, hey, listen, first of all, it wasn't me. I wasn't even there. And second, I was holding it for a friend, okay?
There's 6 other people in the waiting area with the same letter. We start going, oh no.
Yeah, and it's like a kung fu fighter and a stage.
Acrobat.
And there's like
There's a plumber and a soldier
with a mustache.
These are all the adventuring parties waiting to get sent out. So the guy who comes out, he's got this like receding hairline. He's got the comb over and he's got a little bow tie and a little grey suit. He's like, yes, can I help you? Gentlemen, he says as he eyeballs up and down sort of Marvell.
I wave the piece of paper. We got the letter.
Most excellent, most excellent. Which ones are you?
You're so silly. It's obviously me, Jock Tabloid, the professional, hard-hitting journalist that you referred to.
Oh,
you
for
know
the
me.
Cornthwaite matter.
You called me Jack, but it's Jock.
Yes, quite.
Couldn't believe anyone's name would be Jock. I thought it was a spelling typo.
If you would like to step this way, I'll introduce you to my brothers. And he takes you to a slightly larger room with a table around it, and it's got about 6 chairs in total. He says, please grab a seat. He sits you down, and then walk 2 more, and one's slightly taller than him and one's slightly shorter than him, and they're all wearing these boring grey suits that are quite faded, and they've got ties on, and the first one you spoke to is completely clean shaven, the next one's got a mustache, and they're all the same. You can see the genetic legacy here, all that same receding hairline, and they're just like anonymous little men. And he says, well, as you would know, I'm Reginald, and this is my brother Walter, and this is my brother Herbert. And they were, well, I'm charmed to meet you. And one of them was really like eyes down on the floor and hands clenched in front of him, and it's clear that Reginald is the sort of more people person of one of them. But you put their age in
He's
this.
the face.
Yes. You put their age in the 60s, and they're just kind of nondescript. These are people that you will forget 5 minutes after having met them.
Your client, Mr. Cornthwaite.
Yes, quite, Mr. Cornthwaite. Yes, quite a difficult matter to resolve. We really need some instructions from him as to the disposition of his estate.
But he lives near the town. Why did you bring us all the way when you could have gone and knocked on his door?
Well, we have knocked on his door. We made detailed and thorough inquiries, of course, and one of the brothers goes, yeah, we knocked on the door and he didn't answer, so he says, anyone home? And but then it was a bit too spooky. And Reginald says, yes, quite detailed legislative inquiries that we made. That's really your department.
So the sheriff doesn't think that there's anything wrong, thinks he's just gone on a trip.
Well, that's maybe whatever the reason for his disappearance. We really need to seek instruction from him, whether it's by fair means or foul. We need to know what to do with the premises.
Foul.
What's a chicken got to do with this?
Oh.
Jeez.
Hey.
Well, yes, I can see you're quite the joker.
Also kind of a fighter. So how about we get to the point where you tell us what the heck we're doing in town?
So, well, of course, and he comes back with one of those big cardboard boxes, and he takes the lids off, and he says, I think you gentlemen with your background will appreciate all of the following documents. And he starts digging out, like you can see there's big ledgers and profit and loss and all these like legal documents in relation to the premises.
Here comes the accounting roll.
And the big like most of it is financial information. He hands them over and he says, look, well, as we've made incredibly clear, your role is to find his current location or evidence of his death to satisfy the court. And really, if you do make inquiries at the mansion, I must reiterate to you the mansion itself is of marked fiscal value and must not be damaged, lest you have some pecuniary responsibility for the damage inflicted herein.
They're going to be shattered to learn the sheriff wants to torch it.
So you're telling us you got a key for the place? Because we're going in to look around.
Yes, quite. Yes, you'll find that in the box there that I've passed on to you.
Oh, we're taking the box.
Yes, and we have made arrangements for your accommodation at the Mrs. Haggerty's address, and I would appreciate if you would conduct yourselves with the appropriate decorum as representatives of the Dodge Brothers law offices.
They know about the roses. That was their
Wait till we hit
subtle.
the minibar.
Yeah.
So you've been given this lump of documents, and like you say, this sounds to me like it's going to be an accounting role or a spot hidden role, or if there's something else you can suggest to me.
Just one more question. Who is the beneficiary of Mr. Cornthwaite's vast estate?
Well, it appears at this stage that that would be a matter for the probate court, because we have identified no beneficiaries, and the documents we hold for him relate to money going into trust for the town and the Gamwell beneficiary, then some sort of gymnasium in Brooklyn, and
Give it direct to me. I'll sort that out.
and a number of other charities and charitable institutions around the country.
One thing that I'm really good at as this low-level wannabe journalist is often I get handed these boxes of information at the end of a news piece, and I have to decide what's worthy of keeping for our records, because I have to make copies of it, and I don't want to copy the entire box. So I will inevitably look for what's relevant, what's important, copy that, store it, and then turf the rest out. So I'm hoping I can, while they're discussing and chatting to Reginald, I can quickly sift through this box and try and spot something hidden that may stand out from just padding that would be in a box of info.
Okay, well, I think you're still going to need to show me that base accounting skill so you have some degree of understanding of it.
Sure, I'll give you an accounting roll first.
Great.
Amazing, an 18, which is a success.
Straight away, you sort of start at the most recent entries and work your way back, and you can straight away pick that there's all the expenses related to his South American expedition in 1923. And you can see there that there's money for the hiring of people, for transport, for supplies, and these are all down as sundries, but they all look what you'd anticipate that an expedition of this scale would cost. Make an intelligence roll.
A 76. I failed by 1. I'd like to spend some luck to at least get myself to a success.
Great. So as you know, in Call of Cthulhu, you can spend luck points. 1 luck point is basically 1 increase on or decrease on your dice roll. So you just spend 1 to get a basic success?
Correct.
So looking at the comparison between the cost of transit to South America and the cost of transit back from South America, you note that return passage was only booked for 1 person. Outgoing for the whole expedition, return was only for 1.
Everyone says he's such a lovely, charming fellow, and yet he knows he's booking a one-way trip for his entire staff.
Can I see how many staff he was taking with him?
12 people. It's about what you would think is the...
Yeah, but in advance, you'd booked a return for 1.
You're not sure if it's in advance, but he definitely only paid for 1.
Okay.
Going further through, you can see that there is nothing in his domestic expenses list about household staff, which would usually be, for a house of this size, which would usually be down. But apart from that, the last thing that you can see is from January the 7th, 1925. So it's almost a month ago now, 3 to 4 weeks ago. Cornthwaite booked a dump truck full of salt to be delivered to his property. And this order was never filled. The arrangements were still being made for it to be fulfilled when he disappeared, and the Dodgers, in the interest of preserving the household finance, it appears that they've put a hold on that, just from a little notation written under the entry that the check was suspended or something to prevent it going through.
So the salt was never delivered,
No.
according to the records.
But it was ordered.
So you're welcome to. They're still standing there around you, sort of looking. This has only been you've only spent a few minutes leafing through the book, so they're still looking at you with anticipation.
It's so hard to go through the box and look for stuff when people are watching you.
It's like
And
trying
every
to-
time you look up, they're like really just gazing at you and like nodding reassuringly. Yes.
Love your filing system, guys. Great penmanship.
Well, thank you. That's it's all Walter. Walter does the penmanship. Walter, you hear the man complimented your penmanship there. Walter's like, well, yeah, I appreciate that. I did spend some
Hey,
time.
Poindexter, let me cut you off for a second. What's with the salt?
It's a delicate matter, but we definitely took it as a bit of a sign of Mr. Cornthwaite appeared to be in some form of cognitive decline before his disappearance, and
You see a doctor?
his medical matters were outside of our scope. But I believe
Did he see a doctor?
Well, yes, I believe he was seeing the local physician.
Great. Thanks for answering the question the first time around. I appreciate that.
He's quite taken aback. He's just like, oh.
I'm glad we haven't met anyone violent yet.
Thaddeus is giving side eyes to Jock, going, "Where's this guy?"
I'm sweating.
So yeah, we would appreciate if you would keep the information about the strange behavior of the salt shipment. Salt.
I know what you mean.
Delivery of thought.
Hey,
If you would keep that to yourself, that
Hey, we're professionals.
yeah.
What are you talking about?
I wouldn't like to see Mr. Cornthwaite's character maligned in such a way.
People in the town are talking about Mr. Cornthwaite's staff, and I don't see any mention of them here in the finances. That's odd.
Mr. Cornthwaite was quite a private man, and with his healthy investments and his input, he did quite often receive cash from his account from the local bank, which he would then pay his staff with cash in hand, as it were.
And I noticed they're not on the flight logs.
No, well, his staff would be left behind to maintain the house rather than accompanying him. They're not adventurers.
I think one thing we can assume, if that delivery wasn't made, he wasn't assaulted.
And that's all for the Flashing Badger podcast. Will be
I was mulling over saying that one for a while.
So glad you did.
Yeah, I know.
Again, I'm glad your colleagues have such levity in this matter when it concerns the disappearance of a valued member of our community.
Jeez, lighten up,
What are you saying? You want to see a levitation trick?
Yes.
I greatly enjoy close-up magic. So he says, yeah, and he provides a further document which has some of the payroll information about the staff, and you can see there that essentially they distributed like cash in hand direct to these people. But he hands you over 2 keys, and he points to you. One is the front door and one is the rear door of the premises. And he says, look, obviously, if it furthers your investigation, you are welcome to stay at the Fitzgerald house. You can sleep there. But we have booked, as I said, for you in the boarding house, and you'll find it quite well. I find myself in the indelicate position of raising payment. Obviously, payment would be $100, which I think you'll find is quite generous. And should you expedite this matter and have a solution within the week, a further $100 bonus could be credited to your account.
That is
Each?
Gentlemen, let's not be too hasty. Obviously, $100 is
Reginald chokes on his butterscotch.
it's a significant sum of money.
You turn to me and you're like, did you hear that, Jock? You might get $10 if you solve this case. I'm like, yay!
I trust that you're happy to enter into contracts now, and it slides over a piece of paper that basically says the conditions of the agreement there.
I sign while it's still sliding across the table towards me.
And the other two, you happy with those terms?
Absolutely.
And I grabbed a big cardboard box full of documents off the table.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. I trust that we will hear from you shortly. We do have a telephone, as I see you have mentioned, so you may call us if you wish. Just don't call me late for dinner. Am I? With the jokes. He deflates instantly when you don't react.
He pretends to answer the phone that's not ringing.
Yeah.
Yes, this is Reginald.
And then it rings under his ear instead.
And I've got the box and I'm back out onto the street.
Great.
Who's got the keys? I'd like to pocket the keys.
You put them in your pocket, reach back in, and they're gone. And we're like, you're doing a bit. And you're like,
And then you take your hat off and your rabbit's got them clenched in his teeth.
and you're like, oh, I found them.
You've made it. You better come take a look at this.
A dead body? Thanks. I've seen 1 or 2 of them before.
Not like this, you haven't. See this?
Ligature marks. So our stiff was into a little rough play. Didn't know you were so conservative, Doc.
Grow up. Look closer.
Small circles?
Right, like suction cups.
What, did a rogue calamari settle a debt?
Would have to be a hell of an octopus to do that, Jim. Strange thing, though. I have 2 more on ice from overnight with the same marks.
Well, Doc, sounds like you're adding another one to your little freezer collection, because we're in for an evening of investigation that's going to be tentacool.
Tuesday nights are heating up on CBC at 8 p.m. with the return of CSI CSI Boston.
Flashing Badger.
Great, where's the next stop?
Oh, it's got to be the library.
Yeah, I think a lot's pointing us
I
towards
want
the library.
newspaper clippings.
As we sort of make our way up towards the library, I turn to you guys and go, what did he mean by that, call me late for dinner?
Yeah.
What did he mean by that?
Is this
That's
guy?
our dinner plans.
Do you think that guy was having a go at me? Do you think? think I should go back there and talk to him?
Was he hitting on me? I don't know what happened.
I think
You
you
punch
liked
his
me.
mailbox on the way out. You don't know how to control your emotions.
One of the waiting guests in the room, you just knock out on the way past. Just keep going.
They're already in a neck collar.
Injury lawyers.
You make your way down the main street, and trying to sort of the fairly grandiose town hall stands there, and off to one side is the small, cramped little library building. And you make your way inside the front door there, and it's quite nice. There's on the lean-to roof, there's a few skylights and bright windows. It's quite a bright and airy space. And you note straight away there's only a handful of shelves of books. Like this is not a vast library by any stretch. But as soon as you're inside, you see sort of a head pop out from one of the back rows of books, and like a pretty young African-American woman starts walking towards you. She's quite conservatively dressed, but her clothes are quite smart, and she's got this like relaxed bun at the back of her head. She projects this sort of natural warmth to you, but as soon as she makes her approach, she's like, "Hello, gentlemen. Can I help you?"
Miss Arwell.
Oh my!
I'm Thaddeus, and these are my compatriots.
Wow, that's quite an entrance, Mr. Thaddeus.
Please call me Magnificent.
And she does a little giggle and puts her hand. And
Give her another rose from there. Hank's garden. He's still sitting here down the street.
You just
going,
run back
Holy
to...
crap! Where are my flowers?
There's also like a little smoke machine behind you that I drag around.
she sort of blushes slightly and she says, "Well, I don't get many visitors through the day. What brings you into town?"
We're hoping to look at your records.
Oh, well, we have there's some in the town hall next door. We have some here, but I find myself a little embarrassed by the state of the library. We have quite a lot of books on South America and a few on local history, but we don't have that much here, and I'm ashamed to say.
Just stop you there. South America.
Yeah, it's a continent. It's directly beneath America.
There's a
south.
Madness.
There's something outside America?
I only learned there was Boston today.
If we give you the name of someone who comes to the library, are you able to look at their account and tell us what books they were renting?
Yeah, I suppose I could. That's a slightly unusual request, sir, but I could do that for you.
We're solving a mystery.
Oh, magnificent! I'm
You wouldn't stand in the way of mysteries, would you?
no, I'm somewhat of an author myself. I'm in the process of writing a book, so this is quite interesting.
She's going to hand us her script.
What's your book about? What's your book about?
Our book is about the disappearance of Arthur Cornthwaite.
Oh, Mr. Cornthwaite, you should have said, oh, he's such a lovely man. He's mostly responsible for what you see on the shelves.
The missing
behind you.
books.
Well, he's,
The lack of books.
he's donated most of these books here. He's such a kind man. And, you know, apart from one minor indiscretion, he's been a model client. Absolutely model client.
It makes sense that there's so many books on South America then, because I appreciate that he was an explorer and recently went on an expedition there.
Well, yes, you're quite well informed, sir. It's,
Keep expecting you to go, by Jiminy.
Gee, what a scoop.
Hold the presses.
yeah, he was involved in some archaeology down that way, and he's left a bunch of books here that you're welcome to examine if you wish.
And you mentioned the indiscretion.
It would be indiscreet of me to mention, but he does have a book that's overdue for some time. Since back in November, he hasn't returned the book. So it would be nice if you do speak to Mr. Cornthwaite. If you could arrange for its return, I would be most grateful.
We were going to his house probably today. I could collect the book for you and save him the trip because I appreciate he hasn't been feeling well. What was the name of the book again?
Oh, it's let me look here. And she flicks through some index cards and she pulls out his. It's a pretty sparse box, but she pulls out the card.
And the little ghost goes up when she gets to his. As she blows the dust off the card.
It says, well, the book is called "The Missing People: The Tribe That the Jungle Swallowed." It's a book about some sort of South American folklore.
I'm trying to do the old charm on her. Oh, Ms. Arwell. Grab, do the big cape flutter thing again. Grab her hand. Do the. Trying to charm her, if you will. But we're looking for any information on Arthur you have, whether it be official records or unofficial, if you know what I mean.
Well, there are some shadows that sit over his house. I'm sure you might be aware. If you check the history there, the clippings box of the newspaper, we do have some stories that relate to some horrible tragedies that have gone on in that house. She hands you over a couple of newspaper articles. One you see is from 1865, titled "Tragedy Befalls Fitzgerald Home" from the Gamwell Gazette, that accounts the tragic slaying of Mr. Albert Fitzgerald and his family. And the further one talks about, from 1895, a tragedy of awful proportions unfolded today in Gamwell when Mrs. Gloria Kerwin and her 3 children were found brutally murdered.
By Arthur.
And the deputy said, "I've never seen anything like it. They were all dead. They were all brutally and cowardly slain by repeated blows from an axe. Not even little Susan was spared from the horrific fate."
Oh, dear God.
No murder weapon has been discovered, and Mr. Arthur Kerwin, the children's father, is presently missing. He's wanted by the police for questioning, although fears are also held for his safety.
Any mention of a bounty?
The old 60-year-old bounty or the 30-year-old bounty? No, there is not.
Sixpence.
As you're going through, she says, "Well, there is quite an interesting history to the town. I myself am writing a book about the town's history, and sometimes sordid and sometimes quite wonderful. But for a town as old as ours, there's always stories to tell."
Do you have a copy of your book that you'd like us to read? Because we're obviously incredible journalists.
It's like, "Oh no, I couldn't. I noticed you were so enthusiastic about it. You didn't even do your accent." "No, I don't. I wouldn't." And she
What's her initiative like? We're ready to throw hands. It's been a whole episode.
She blushes quite
Roscoe
quickly.
Backnappy.
He's in a fighting stance.
Blushes and is sort of embarrassed by this, but ultimately you go through the newspaper results and things, and you think, short of going through the books that he's donated, you think this might be as much as you can find in the fairly meagre documents here.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that every 30 years something strange seems to happen at the residence?
Well, the curse of the Fitzgerald house, it is well known, and it's one of the reasons the locals don't like to talk about that place. Place of evil, I suppose.
I take the newspaper clippings, and as I'm walking out, she does the, they were not to keep, and I just tuck them into my pocket and keep walking.
Scrunch them up and just
Yeah,
push them in your pocket.
So you make your way back out into the street, and just as you step into the road, as a car narrowly misses, make
30-foot goose.
me a dodge roll. Nah, you're all good. That's the end of the episode, though.
Lucky because it wasn't a great roll.
That is the end of the episode as the mystery deepens and deepens. Let's go to Roscoe. Your initial theory, what do you think's going on here?
I reckon every 30 years something happens in that house.
Jock and Thaddeus, you agree with that?
I wait till everyone else has answered before I go, I agree with those.
As a stage magician, I will not reveal what my thoughts of things are until the final act and moment when I can reveal all in one spectacular presentation.
I love that.
Perfect. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for playing. This has been episode 1 of Call of Cthulhu. The adventure is called The Cracked and Crooked Manse. Jock Tabloid, been doing a lot of running around. He's trying to earn his bones as a journalist.
He's pretty clueless, though. Mike, on the outside looking in, is like, I know what's going on, Jock. Jock, you're going to get out of there.
You playing
Jock is having so much fun.
Roscoe?
Roscoe.
It seems like he's bringing quite a negative energy to the whole thing.
Oh, no. Roscoe's just keen to get stuck in. There's people tiptoeing around what's going on in this house, and Roscoe's a man of direct answers.
Roscoe shines in like episodes 2 and 3 when you need to throw hands.
Yeah.
Whereas Thaddeus is unexpectedly for me, I thought he was going to be really grating and obnoxious, but people seem to really like him.
You are rolling hot for just everyone loving close-up magic.
That's all. Everyone loves close. They might pretend that they don't. They do. And it's all about, it's the vaudevillian. It's all about the charm, the misdirection, and the patter to try before you get to the big moments.
When we were leaving the library, she's like, can I get your phone number if I need to be in touch? And you're like, you already have it. And it's in her file.
Check your breast pocket.
Like Fitz himself, he's a charisma machine. Thank you very much for being with us. We will see you again next week when we'll be playing episode 2 of Call of Cthulhu. Thanks for being here.
Flashing Badger.